Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome everybody to Commissioners Court. Let the record reflect that we have a quorum. All the commissioners here. Good to see Lawrence back and alive and kicking and all that good stuff. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask that you please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible. Mr.
Lord, we thank you for another day. We thank you for many attendees today in our Commissioner Court meeting. God, we ask that you bless each and every one of us. We thank you for being our Lord. We thank you for the rights that you've given us, the mercy, the grace that you bestowed. God, we thank you for everything. We thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ. We pray. Amen. Amen.
Item number 4, public comments. Mr. Leader.
Good morning, Your Honor. Again. Commissioners, one thing that's been brought to my attention is the fact that you are not in compliance with the Open Meetings Act, and we, the audience, should be able to hear every facet of what's happening with every one of you. And many people have told me, especially at the last very urgent meeting, that they could not hear what was going on. Some people came prior and they didn't come back because they couldn't hear prior. So what I would like to see is you voluntarily complying with the Open Meetings Act and the audience being able to hear everything that transpires while Commissioners Court is in session. And you do have the headsets that you could put on, and there are ways that you can improve upon that. I'm sure, Your Honor, in your court, when I was upstairs, that is not a problem whatsoever. And it's not up to us, it's up to you to see that this problem is resolved. It's been lingering far too long. And more people would probably be responsible and responsive to Commissioners Court if this was complied with. Thank you very much.
Well, Sykes, can you hear me back there?
Yeah, I can. I got to get you.
All right. Good. I guess item number 5, announcement of possible discussion of items of public or community interest for which no action will be taken. That's 4th of July coming up. Hope everybody has a great time celebrating independence that we've enjoyed for so long.
We'll have ours in Shepherd starting about 2 o'clock at the community center, City of Shepherdville.
On what day?
Ma'am?
On what day?
A Saturday, start Saturday. And tomorrow we've got our meeting at 11 o'clock down here to focus on improving economic development. It's over here at we sent out invitations here from 11 to 3. That's the normal TechCog and TechSport District Partnership. Where the lady that presented at the luncheon in March from Stephen F. Austin is coming in.
Number 11.
So for the public, there's no burn ban. I've had several calls asking about the burn ban. Is burn ban on? They're talking about fireworks. We have no ban on the fireworks or burn ban at this time. So we'll do that.
It's very dry, be careful, but it's just not quite a burn ban status yet. Anything else on the item number 5? Let's back over here, item number 10. Consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve the fiscal year 24-25 interlocal agreement for 9G11 public safety and reform services and fiscal year 24-25 interlocal agreement for GIS and NG 911 automatic location information management service. I have a motion by Commissioner Brandon, second by Commissioner McAnally. This agreement is a long time, years, that's what we learned, 911 years, so, yeah. Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. One's for maintenance, one's for answering point services. Right there. Always been my practice to sign it. Soon as we pass it, that way. So then, we're not looking for 6 weeks from now. Just a share. Item number 11, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve the new rate increase that was made on IRS tax inflation adjustments to begin the year 2023 for the medical reimbursement from $2,700 to $3,050. Ms. Adams?
Hi. So this rate, this is a medical reimbursement account that's managed by our office and National Family Care. They just help us facilitate this flex spending account, and the IRS this year has raised that allowable amount to the $3,050.
So this is part of like our benefits package.
It is.
Something you can pay into if you want to.
It's a benefit to the employee that they can elect this if we need to help with medical expenses, and they gradually pay that back over their pay periods throughout the year.
On top of cafeteria thing.
Yes.
I have a motion by Commissioner McNally to approve the item regarding the cafeteria plan, a second by Commissioner Brandon. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0.
Thank you, Jim.
Is there something we need to sign? I didn't see it, in this, what y'all said. Item number 12, consideration, discussion, and possible vote for approve to renew liability coverage with Texas Association of Counties for the term October 1, October 1/24.
It's the auto liability.
I'm sorry?
It's the auto liability. It runs from October to October.
On the part-time, is that part-time for the dog pound? Or who is those part-time for? It says full-time employees, part-time employees, and then
I got the information from the treasurer's office, so I'm not for sure who it's all including.
okay.
I would assume, in that 29, who's that sanitation?
I'm thinking about everyone.
29, sure, that's on sanitation.
The volunteers and the food.
But the volunteers, no, just curious, on 17.
Page, the second page here, it says, number 2, unmanned aircraft is selected. I think we approved the purchase of an unmanned aircraft, right?
We did, and
This is, we ain't got it yet, but it's for next year, we're starting in October, so we better put something down here, so
they precinct 2 has one.
I'm sorry.
Precinct 2 constable, I think they have a drone also.
Car? Drone? I don't know if they do or don't.
They do.
I don't.
is it his or is it the county? City Shepherd.
Okay, city, so we don't have to claim it.
City Shepherd.
I'm not sure what it has in it. You said no, we're not. Okay. So we got at least one.
Yeah, we can add it.
About law enforcement, watercraft. I know we've had some, I used to have one, I don't know whatever happened.
I think it's supposed to be this.
Well, by the way, did we sell us, we had one we just sold, didn't we? Yeah, I saw it on Gun Deal South Carolina.
That phone, the guy hired. It's out for bid.
Oh, okay, well, I thought they had that. I think it was at 8,000 last time, then I couldn't find the website. That's a seizure thing though, wasn't it? That tractor makes a good product, they So what is, we authorized like $6,000 or something for the drone, wasn't it?
It was 5,500. Is what it cost.
You have anything on, I didn't bring any of that stuff with me, but I'm trying to remember the model or any of that sort of stuff.
I don't remember it, but I have it at the office.
I think so, yes. I'm gonna put 6,000, and then we can fill in the blank on the model and the serial and all that good stuff. Wait a minute.
Yep, we'll do that when we get back to the office.
That was a,
We'll have to leave the blank one where it says description of training certifications, because I don't think anybody did that yet. That's, it works.
that's an Autel Robotics EVO2.
How do you spell it?
AUTEL.
AUTEL.
Robotics.
I think I can handle robotics.
EVO2.
Say with EVO?
That's what it is. Autel Robotics EVO2.
EVO.
5890.
All around. Say what it weighs? I guess it's a 2023 model. I wouldn't think it weighed over 10,000. There's a portion that talks about unmanned aircraft in the general liability section, and there's another section under law enforcement liability. I guess, well, we don't have the ones, and you fill in that twice. We have a motion and a second. We're in the comments page right now. Any other comments? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Looks like, wait a minute. I take that back. We don't have a motion. That was the wrong line. We don't have a motion. We have a motion by Commissioner Brandon, second by Commissioner McNally. Any other comments? All in favor, say aye. The ayes have it, it's unanimous. Any nays? I made an assumption, I was correct that time, but not all of it. Don't ever say that. Have a motion, and we'll be sure not in front of it, so I can casually glance over there. I get there. With my notes, please don't freeze that. They don't pay the homework out here. Item number 13, consideration, discussion, possible vote to open and approve, receive bids for the Sampson County 2022-2023 annual material and contracted services bids for the following item. Bid number 21410723, hauling/delivery of materials. I think we went out on this one time. We received a bid, but they had no name, no phone number, they just had what the bid was. I was talking about making assumptions, they assumed we knew who it was, and we had no idea. So, we had to do it again. I've got one here. Received June 20th, MSR Trucking Inc., 101 Counts Road, Point Blank, Texas. There you go. Precinct 2 in Sharpton, usually one link to it. Bid from MSR Trucking Inc., $11 a ton, contingent upon whether or not the yard can stay open till 5 p.m. so the last load can be delivered. $12 a ton if the yard closes at 3:30 p.m. Pricing is delivery from any Huntsville, Texas locations only.
If the yard can be open.
I think they're talking about the yard where they're picking it up, and I ain't sure.
No, he's talking about the yard he's delivered to, but if he can bring it in later in the day, if he wanted to load it.
3:30 p.m.?
Well, no, we all had.
Talking about Polk County or what?
We all had keys.
He ought to put on there, whether it depends on if it's a Friday. Yeah, y'all all got keys. Anyway.
I don't have it. Where the line is going, have a fence, and it's just in there. Then it won't take me. No, that's it. So anyway, that's it. Okay. That's it, Sure.
I have a motion by Commissioner Brandon to accept the bid. I have a second by Commissioner McNally. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Sound like the ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0.
So, I have this bit, didn't you want us to say something else because it was on the wrong bid? Okay.
Y'all gonna be using it for spending federal money?
Yes.
We're gonna get accused of not being diligent enough by only getting one bid. Remember when we did that? We went through all the process, put it on the internet, ran it in paper, and then somebody. Y'all didn't do enough, and we did what the law required.
That's all we see.
Yeah, and we did this twice, actually. So we have given, I'm saying all this for the record, we did go out twice, and you still only got one bid.
You actually sent it to Jack Burrell and Bird.
We emailed it out and put it in the paper.
Those two other names I said.
We're good with
But it's just
Plankton.
keep them in the file with 10%. Yeah, that's it, keep it in the file. I mean,
So you need to, it don't matter.
We've already sent it to Langford, they got the support.
Send it in.
I thought this was sort of a supplemental thing, we already had some out there, saying, yeah, earlier. No, we don't.
Bird, his price is, in our annual bid, if we deliver or not, so we can pick and choose.
Right, okay. So we got, as far as him, he's covered this.
We're ready to go out for annual bids anyway, so now we won't go back out again.
Well, this is for the road wheel, but it's up in Huntsville.
But that ain't what the legal notice said, it says accepting bids for hauling and or delivery of materials such as crushed concrete, limestone, wrap, and county supplied clay from the trap pit.
Right.
Yes.
That's it, yeah. It's what he's talking about.
So this lists all of them. All right, moving right along, number 14, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve bond renewal for county judge Ron. I guess this is coming out in the middle of the year, because when I started in the middle of the year on April 30th, 2008.
We did this exact same bond this time last year, so.
Oh, well.
Don't worry about it.
Appreciate it there. I've got a motion by Commissioner Brandon, a second by Commissioner McNally, possible abstention by Commissioner Morris. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Thank you.
Did you go there? They let him go with me.
Number 15, consideration, discussion, possible vote to raise the credit card limit from $2,500 to $5,000 for Constable Sam Houston.
Did he help you about this?
He called me, he was actually at Tractor Supply last Monday on a holiday trying to buy some fans, and he was over the limit, so I told him he's gotta put it on court to get y'all to approve it.
Buy some what?
Fans.
Fans?
I think it was, yeah, it was fans for the animal shelter. Anyway,
$5,000 worth of fans?
no, but he was already over his limit, so he couldn't buy them. I don't remember what they cost, but
I think discussion was, other departments have their limit at 5,000.
all the other elected officials are at 5,000, except for Todd, if he's here to get his done the same.
How much money you got left in the account? Huh? I know they still got money in the account like that.
That's right.
He's got the money in his account. And I don't know what else he's gonna buy, but all the other officials have the limit at 5,000. I would,
You don't think it has any bearing about how much business they got? I mean, the sheriff probably, if we're going by how much they do, the sheriff might need a $25,000. I mean, I'm just saying, he's got a huge department. So,
But as long as they got the money in their budget, you know, we're dealing with a credit card, that's up to the auditors to kind of.
if you wanna raise it or not,
No, I just asked if you had that money in there, that's all I.
how much is the limit on the county judge's credit card?
You don't have one.
Thank you. I think I have a motion by Commissioner Brandon.
Now, I say.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner McInally, a second by Commissioner Brandon. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Item number 16, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to raise the credit card limit from $2,500 to $5,000 for DA's office and issue an additional card with $5,000 limit.
They're gonna do the same card, that's what you're saying. Just
So, we ran into a couple of issues recently. The last 3 trials I think we've had to have witnesses flying from out of state, and we've had to put them up. Of course, this money comes out of our absent forfeiture account, that's how we cover it. No cost to the taxpayer. It's just difficult for me to issue a check for travel, and I'm pretty sure United won't take a check. So they pretty much want us to have a credit card, so.
So is it 2 separate credit
Yeah,
cards?
that's what we're asking.
So you want 5,000 on each one, right?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Just a second.
Whose name did we put on the second one? Are we gonna put your name? Is it gonna be a rental car? Because if it's a rental car, it needs to have a specific person on it that puts it. So that's what I'm.
I would ask that the other one have Tracy Galloway's name on my investigator, since she usually goes to arrange for travel for witnesses and that sort of thing.
Just wanna make sure.
And we'll provide all the information so you have all the details.
Are we talking about 2 cards, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got a motion by Commissioner McInally, a second by Commissioner Mars. Most of, y'all don't do that much actual traveling, you're booking all these flights from the office, right?
For witnesses, yes, sir. Yeah, so that's the other thing that we have to do. And given the nature, Judge, we might have maybe 10 days notice that we need to do this, so trying to ask for a check, trying to kind of go through that route, is kind of difficult for my staff to get it done. So this way it just streamlines everything. Hadn't had a check on that, payment balance for the credit card payments yet, so.
Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Item number 17, consideration, discussion, and possible vote for approval, declaration of salvage of the following items from Parks and Wildlife. TRV 12,000-pound winch. I think that should be winch.
And there's a road that's in there. It's not.
Motor quit working unrepairable.
Yes.
I have a motion by Commissioner Brandon. I never heard of a winch that couldn't be fixed, you know, that'd be a solenoid.
Can we give it to precinct 2?
Marty, where's that winch from Game Warden?
Sitting on the bench in my office.
We donate to precinct 2?
I was gonna bid on it, we're gonna throw it in the trash Yeah, good.
No problem.
No, it's all right, I'm just, I mean, was it on the truck when they hit a tree or something? It's not. It's just, I'm thinking it can be repaired.
Just a motor.
Yeah.
Starter motors.
So long, look at it.
Starter motor.
You think it can be fixed, down a couple of solenoids or whatever?
Everything can be fixed with the right amount of money.
I agree, so why are we throwing it in the trash?
Well, it's a tractor's winch from Tractor Supply.
Oh,
About
$65.
It's a high dollar one, yes, sir.
I'm familiar with that brand, whatever y'all want to do.
I'll tell you what to do with it.
Or we're salvaging it, put it in recycle bin, leave it in recycle bin, so you can fix it.
I'm just saying, I don't.
Just throw it in the dumpster.
Recycle bin.
Yeah, just throw it
I'm
in
gonna
the dumpster.
donate it to precinct, 2, he might can get some use out of it. I don't have no problem with that either. I'd rather do it to him than throw it in the trash. He's pretty sharp on that stuff, he can go never go in there for you, know.
Motion to state, donate precinct 2.
That seems like he expressed an interest in it. I have a motion by Commissioner Brandon, and a second by Commissioner McInerney to, donate or transfer the winch to precinct 2, Little Bridge. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, unanimous, 5-0. Item number 18, consideration, discussion, possible go out for bids for 3 crew cab pickup trucks for the sheriff's office with dispatch specs.
We're ready for you.
So as y'all know, we're still waiting on Ford Explorers going on 11 months, they haven't even been built, they're not available. We've got a nationwide search, statewide search, they're not there.
We talked about some the other day, and somebody said we ordered some from Sylvia, and, is that the same?
Yeah, those are remaining, he doesn't have them, he called about a month ago, said they're not even
My
on.
buddy of mine drives by there all the time doing appraisals. He said they must be 100. And we've been waiting for over 6 months to be, sounds like to me,
11 months.
11 months we've been waiting, and they got a yard full of police vehicles.
And they're all spoken for.
Well, my guess is we got a good bid, and then, I don't know, 11 months later, they're all spoken for, why are they sitting there every time you go by? I mean, they don't make sense to me.
Well, the ones we're looking at haven't even been put on the assembly line because of AC problems.
9 out of 10, not going to be this level. You get the next year, Mark, you're not going to get to that far.
And we've already experienced that because we were supposed to get 22, then he bumped it to 23, and here we are.
I'll let that go.
I have a motion by Commissioner Brandon, second by Commissioner McInerney.
Any questions? I got some comment. We just went out for bid for 2 pickups. It's already, and have we put it in?
One pickup.
No, we went out for 2.
We went out for 2 for the July one and one for the 911 permit. Yes, we had to put that in the paper.
That's in the paper, so with those trucks that we've already bid, not qualified for what you want?
Yeah,
Really? What's the difference?
I don't even know what you bid on, to be honest with
We
you.
bid on a double cab pickup, same thing, it looks like we did on here, y'all want four-wheel drive trucks?
Yes,
I think one bid is gonna come four-wheel drive truck. I'm just saying, but we've got a bid already out there with those not work. When we get-
I honestly have to look at the specs, because there are certain things that we need.
I mean, it's almost like you've got the build sheet for a truck.
Spec sheet, yes.
Yeah, so this is the truck we're trying to get.
Yes.
This is gonna be pretty hard to get, this particular truck.
No, they're available.
Well, they are
Everybody. We've done some research, Lieutenant come to my office the other day, I asked him, to come to the office, let me sit down with him, and, kind of go over, to kind of ease the load of trying to purchase cars or trucks or whatever. So we sit down and kind of put a little plan together and make a few phone calls, and there is some vehicles out there, not exactly Ford Explorers, but the trucks that this spec'd out is the same thing that the state of Texas, all of their game boards are using, because they got heavier duty brakes, they're heavier duty, the front ends on them. So those trucks are out there, and nobody has ever spoken for them, other than the state of Texas. So those are available. So that's when I asked the lieutenant, would those work together? And the trucks that they've got now are just average, mom and pop trucks that go to town and get groceries, and they're not holding up. The front ends are not holding up, the brakes are not holding up, and so I said, would y'all like to try the four-wheel drives, it's heavier duty? So that's where this all come about.
But the point is, if y'all need more pickups, we already voted to go out for bids just to get a bid on the trucks. We didn't limit it to how many we were gonna buy, I don't think. Point is, when you're buying trucks, you're supposed to comply with the law and put it out there, hey, guys that sell trucks, we wanna buy trucks, here's the specs. Why do it over? We could buy it under what we're still waiting on prices to come back on those. We could buy these under that. Isn't that your point?
That's one of my points.
Yes, sir. Continue with the rest of your
The
points.
second point is, what are we gonna do about the ones that we've already spoken for? And is Mr. Todd Dillon still in there? Have we told him we don't want him anymore? And we're out of that contract?
Yeah, he said the PO's not binding, or the purchase order.
We don't get him on the microphone.
He said we're not obligated until we receive the top.
The ad that we put in the paper, it does state 2 pickup trucks.
But they're pricing them one at a time. I don't know why we would put a number in there, because
I'm just telling you, we put 2. I don't think it's binding.
So we, just to be clear, we bought 4, we ordered 4. You got to blame about 4 on last year's budget, but you haven't got it. One of those, we just leased, one of those, right? Is that what we did last quarter?
yes.
We're going to lease one trial, so that's one of these 4. So now you want 3?
Yes.
Just they're in there?
Yes.
All right.
And they've got the money in the budget.
Okay, I just want to make sure what we're doing. Because we did do this one time, and we had some order, and the next thing I have to touch.
Mr. Dillon,
some of these trucks, right?
we went out for bids for some trucks here just a meeting or 2 ago, and now we're going out for some more. We hadn't even got the bids back on the last time, and the commissioner said, well, why waste time? The whole point is to ask for bids from the public and put the notice out there so any person that sells trucks could bid on selling us a truck. Why can't we just take the prices that we get on what we've already advertised for bids and buy 3 more.
I believe, if you comply with the fact that the county is seeking these, to make these purchases,
Yeah.
I don't see any reason I couldn't.
The whole idea is, hey, world, we wanna buy some trucks, anybody that sells trucks, send us something and give us a price on the truck.
And I apologize, I had a phone call from an officer, is this related to the vehicle from Silsby that we had previously talked about?
That's another part of it, we ordered some from them 11 months ago. I know 2 people that told me they've driven by there numerous times. They got 100 vehicles sitting out there, but they won't even answer the phone when, Officer Darby calls and say, we're about our trucks.
Unless our
We still have one of them?
No, sir. Unless our purchase order was something kind of extravagant that no other potential buyer would really want, unless we had engraved, St. Clair County and everything.
No, this is Ford Explorer you're talking about? It's Ford. Yeah, it's Ford Explorer.
And then the standard police package, I can't see anybody, holding that purchase order, especially after 11 months.
Not for that price 11 months ago, I think the whole issue is they don't wanna stick to that price.
I don't think that's, I don't believe a purchase order, one, practically in this climate, they're gonna sell it to somebody else, right? 2, I don't think a purchase order after 11 months for a vehicle that is general in nature, it's not a yellow Lamborghini or something like that, would be binding on a purchase order. So, no, sir, I don't see any litigation coming.
It may be wise for us to do this, send the leasing company a notice that first order before moving on to good stuff.
I think it doesn't really, I don't know if it necessarily, I think we should still be to notice that, like, okay, at this point, we're forming this purchase order, so that way they can't say in another 11 months, hey, we got your Explorer.
So that's what happened.
Yes, I would just send that notice to them and say, like, we're, okay, 11 months has gone by, we're voiding this purchase order. I think by operation of the law, they're voided already, but it's better to just go ahead and do that so they don't come back. If the car market takes a huge, drop in the next year and they're struggling to sell cars and they say, hey, you're on the hook for these, and they're like, no, we voided that 11 months ago. So I would do that, but I don't see it being binding or so.
We'd like for you to do that.
I'm fine with doing that, just,
You have to call my board, Lieutenant?
Lieutenant, if you give me that information, I'll be happy to travel.
So,
So the 2 trucks that we made out of bid, what's the specs on these?
They're nothing like these.
Well, see,
These are four-wheel drives, different motors.
these are totally different.
I thought he said that
These are police package. These are police package.
I sent the previous ad to the salesman, and he said, I got 2 of them on the lot right now, one of them 4-wheel drive. I said, just bid 4-wheel drive, it doesn't matter.
But these are police package.
Okay.
With heavy duty brakes, with heavy duty motors are different, everything.
okay, I thought they said this is just regular old trucks. You want the police package, well, then we need to make a motion to do the police package.
I'll make a motion to go out.
Anyone for police packages, they got big.
I'll make a motion to go out for the
They got
spec
all different
sheet
things.
on 3 pickups with the spec sheet attached. Go out to bid.
I have a motion by Commissioner McAnally, a second by Commissioner Brandon.
I got a question for the ad in the paper. I mean, you want to list all of that in the ad in the paper, or can I just put the basic and then say, contact Bowen for specs? That's gonna
That would be
expensive
appropriate.
ad.
That would be appropriate.
That's what I do.
I would put all of it in there,
Yeah.
police package or something to that.
Yeah.
I'll have him approve the bid and then we'll get it in.
And by the way, for the public's information, the Explorers that we've been waiting 11 months on, these trucks is gonna come in probably about $5,500 less per vehicle than the Explorers that we've been waiting 11 months on.
So what is the price that we have on them now?
Well, I don't know, we won't know
Well, I thought
until,
you said the trucks were sitting over there.
well, there's trucks available. There's trucks available, and we'll just have to see what the bids come back.
So for the record, we have a motion and a second. Now we have another motion.
It just blocked.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna be voting on the second motion. Is that correct? That's correct. Any other comments? All in favor of Mr. McNally, Commissioner McNally's motion, second motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Item number 19, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve revising current travel policy to include out-of-county reimbursement at IRS rate of limits for county business such as schools, at least 60 miles from the county line, with expense card and Google Maps showing mileage not reimbursable if using county credit card. Yeah, I mean, you have to reimburse if they use county credit card.
Well, that's true, but, you know, you gotta make sure you got it all covered in there. I put this on here, because we've had numerous times this has been brought back up, and we brought up last time about going, you know, just travel now. We got some money last year, and, this kind of is typical of what we did at DPS, thinking back in the back, where almost every place you go to, when you go travel, there's two things that's paramount. One is per diem, so you have limits set for meals and hotels, stuff like that. And the other is travel. In typical travel, they don't go by what your odometer reading is anymore. You have to provide a Google map showing point to point, and that's what you get reimbursed for. So if you go to a town, you decide to take a sightseeing tour, that's not going to be part of your mileage you get reimbursed for. So I put this on here just for discussion, since we're at budget time right now, to get everybody's thoughts out, and either to do what we want to do. I don't charge miles, never, you know, have it at one time, all these years.
That was a trip to El Paso or something far away.
It was a very far away trip, yeah, and that was the only time, so.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, it's always been in the budget. That travel line is for when you go somewhere outside the county for schooling or something like that. And the others for all your local travel. It's two different animals.
I thought we voted a few years ago that last year, that anybody that got travel pay wouldn't get it, couldn't charge mileage.
You got vehicle allowance, couldn't charge much.
And I'm funny, no matter where you're at, I don't care if you're at home or if you're in Dallas or somewhere, you still gotta eat. So why would the county have to reimburse you for your meals if you draw travel?
Well, that's always,
I've never done that.
that's always been the rate that's gone for years and years, you know. That's why I say there's limits, you know, we used to have a $50 limit a day, and now we're $3. Now you can spend it all at dinner if you want to, or you can spend it at lunch or whatever, $50, that's all you can get.
But I thought that's why we upped the travel to eliminate some of it.
Well, we added in several departments with a small, modest vehicle allowance, but they still doing the same amount of travel. That's where most of the concern has been, because they're not sure if they're coming out ahead or not. This way, I mean, it was a nice gesture, but then we gave them some over here, and then we took it back over here with the left hand.
Well, let's do this, let's take it back, and then on the budget stuff, and then they just turn it in, and we'll do it that way. If that's what they want.
It's in the budget for this year, and it should be.
I said, when we work on the budget, that's what we'll do. The ones that want it that way, do it that way.
I agree. I was the one that stood up back there when we had the committee up here and said, anybody for the public's notice that gets an increase in their line item for travel will not keep charging mileage again. Now, if that be the case, you're right, we need to work on it in budget, and if they don't want to take that, we'll take that back, and then they can charge your mileage, in my opinion.
I'm good.
You said travel, but travel is the money for outside, then there's vehicle allowance, that was the new money that they got. Everybody got an increase.
Yeah, we didn't leave anybody out when getting in.
I don't think so.
We did, I know. I just want to open the conversation and get it out
So there's no, I don't hear no motions to move forward on, so anyway, we have to push it around, we'll give it some more consideration during the budget. Oh, that Number 20, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve necessary action for the Innovation Center. They're coming, just blazing right along with everything.
Looking good.
Mayor Woods sent me a text, they couldn't be here, he just had some sort of surgery. And he's got something he wants to bring to us about something that's going on with this air conditioning too. Yeah, he did say that, we'll have to deal with that when he's back here and tell us more about what he's talking about. Air conditioning too?
Yeah, he's got a question for the construction people and the manufacturers as far as the ceiling size on the air conditioning system we have. They never want to do that now. It's an engineering.
The engineering part of that was drawn up by architect and not an engineer. Basically what this issue is.
That's correct.
He's supposed to provide the engineering in his contract.
That is correct.
And I don't know if that's happening, but the way it ought to be happening. It's kind of the impression I could be,
Very true.
I could be off.
No, that's their assumption. We're just waiting for Mark to get well so we can get back into the spec side.
All right, I went out of town last week, and right when the agenda got posted, I remembered that we wanted to have a little session, a budget workshop type thing, but primarily to hear the proposal regarding the inmate staffing issue. If y'all want, we can go into it's a budget workshop agenda, and we still have a quorum. The meeting's already called to order. We're not going to say the pledge again, but we're going to go out of order to that portion. Budget workshop, Commissioner's Court, Auditor, Department of Edge for 2026 budget. Young man, you want to come up here and tell us your story about what you can do for us on the staffing issue?
I can, Jim is supposed to, give y'all a breakdown of what we had addressed a little bit in the last commission, work.
Want to give you a minute to go phone?
Yes, because he's got all the stuff for you to go. There he is. Hey, we're up. I thought we were doing this after this budget.
Yeah, we're done with everything, we're paying the bills, so we might as well, we're ready for you.
Yes, sir, take it just a minute. Can you give me a minute? I've got a slide.
It's all right. Y'all want to pay the bills while he's getting his ducks in a row? Number 6, consider approval of claims.
I have moved.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to pay the bills, but I'm gonna hold on this, on the sheriff's bill is. We'll hold on. There may be a discrepancy in the amount that you're supposed to be charging. Let's pull that.
All right, number 6, I have a motion by Commissioner Natuno to pay the bills except they'd asked to pull the ones on Will Hall Towing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 270 a pop. Those are being set aside until that issue can be resolved. I have a second by Commissioner Brandon. And for the record, Commissioner Mars put out. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? It's unanimous, 4-0. As I said, Commissioner Mars stepped out for a second. Item number 7. Consider approval of budget amendments and revenue certifications. Money in from debt card, $12,430. That's for our time. Do you ever have a total on how many elections the county line? Yeah. Commissioner. He didn't want to vote on
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendments and revenue certification.
Second. I have a motion by Commissioner Natuno, a second by Commissioner McNally. Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 4-0. Okay, thank you, so. You got some budget amendments that make sense? Budget. Revenue certification. Another sheet before, we just done that. Number 8, consider approval of minutes of meetings of May 3rd, May 17th, May 31st.
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion by Commissioner Natuno, second by Commissioner Brandon. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 4-0. Item number 9, receive and consider approval of May 2023 departmental reports.
I'll make that motion. There was 3 that I did not get, so I'll exclude those. Animal control, environmental, and nuclear support.
Animal control, DPS, what was that?
Environmental, probably.
You're right. I have a motion by Commissioner Natuno to approve all reports except animal control, DPS, and environmental. Can I get a motion? I have a second by Commissioner Brandon. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Carries 4-0. Commissioner Marsh is back in, but he's abstaining, but he's voting here during the whole All right, Chief?
Sir.
You ready?
To answer your question, we collected 2,541 tires, 55,920 pounds, 27.
Yes, sir. LPS at the Jericho. Can we do that? Sure. He's all poised and ready to go. I don't take the wind out of his head. Go ahead, Chief.
Morning, gentlemen. buddy of mine got his left leg shot off right below the knee. And, you know, they hauled him out. I didn't think I'd ever see him again, but a year later, he pops back up in Iraq, and he's got his little new metal flag hooked up there, back in his uniform, doing his thing. So I asked him, you know, why did you come back here? And he said, well, because I got skin in the game. Yeah. There's a piece of me that's in the sand here, and I'm invested in this. I want to see this through. And I never forgot that. In fact, a little later, he got shot in his fake leg again. And the big argument with the staff was when you get a purple heart, you get shot in your fake leg. You really don't. You don't really get wounded, even though you would. But that's a lot of determination. But that's how we work in special forces. There is no giving up, ever giving up. So I have worked on this plan here. I'm not Donald Trump CEO material, because apparently, you know, I'm doing this job. But in this job, I've got to adapt and overcome. I have to figure out how to learn how to be an accountant, radio expert, maintenance expert, personnel, you name it. You name it. Everything but police work now. So what I've tried to do is address some of the ills that are plaguing us right now, because all of us right here are the team. This is the county. This is the county team. And I want to work with you guys. I don't know it all, and I'm open for ideas. All I'm trying to do is give you some ideas. Something to mull over here. It's nothing you vote on today, but it's something to consider what to do, and then later we can put on agenda and decide what route to take. But the option of doing nothing that's not there anymore. You can't do nothing, because we're in a crisis right now. We've got the disaster declaration for immigration, which gives you some more authorities and powers to take actions on certain things. Well, what I'm going to cover here is, I've got kind of a three-pronged deal here. I'm going to give you the problem, I'm going to give you what I think is a solution, and how to implement the solution and pay for the solution. You're the money in, you decide what's really realistic here, what to do, but we have to do something to alleviate the issue. That's Lieutenant Brooks, all right, that's the back of his neck. His shirt is that round white circle, that's pieces of tooth enamel and such, where an inmate last week attacked him and took in and tried to find a hole in his spine. Now, Lieutenant Brooks is a pretty big boy, okay? And this guy clamped on with his mouth, and he had hell getting this guy off. A jailer starts a little over $14 an hour. Are you willing to get chewed on for $14 an hour? I mean, I was going to put a parade of other COs with black eyes, busted noses, blah, blah, blah. But this bite, I don't know if you've ever been bitten. I've been bitten once on the arm, and that guy didn't have any teeth when he was done. But we got to be nicer these days. But anyway, that's just something that happened last week, because Lieutenant Brooks has just almost finished about a 14-hour day, because he's having to work 6 days a week, because we don't have anybody left to work in the jail. These are current wages. If you hire without a license, $14.48 an hour. Once you get a license, $17.48. Cashier at all the grocery stores, $16 an hour. CVS, $15 to $18. Walmart starts at $15. Chick-fil-A's like $15 to $50. Buc-ee's about $21. Everybody pays more. We have not had a jailer application here in months, not one. Nobody will apply because we don't pay anything. It just doesn't, they're not gonna come in. This is the situation in the jail. There's 25 positions, 14 are filled, there's 11 empty right now. Like I said, no applications for months, and this is definitely a safety situation in the jail. This is what we need to do. We need to hire 11 jailers. Right now, the sheriff doesn't have any resources to attract people to apply in the jail. The jailers, deputies, dispatchers are overworked, and what they do is they build up their comp time bank, cash out, quit, and go to a surrounding county that pays overtime. Patrol deputies are working in the jail to try to ease the safety problem. Staff works in the jail, I work in the jail, sheriff works in the jail, captain works in the jail. We also work on patrol. We're salaried staff, and we're doing a minimum of 60 hours a week. All right? I'm 61 years old, and I don't mind, but it makes me older quicker, okay? It doesn't help retaining people when you're on this kind of schedule. The deputies don't hire to work in the jail, but we gotta put them in the jail to cover shortages. That creates a shortage on the street. When there's a shortage on the street, then the detectives have to work on the street. When the detectives go to the street, now there's not detectives. So it's a chain reaction. All right, I've mulled this over. I've been analyzing this, thinking about it. How can we do this without asking for more tax money? How can we do this without raising taxes? How can we do this ourselves? How does the sheriff's office solve this issue by ourselves? We just need the blessing to do so. We analyze the budget. Right now, the detention center is 10.77% below budget. That's $195,000. The sheriff's office is 7.94% below budget, which is $230,000. Our contract, yes, sir.
Is that because of the employees that we can't hire?
A lot of that, the bulk of that money is unpaid salary money.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yes, sir. The contract inmates that we use, we charge $75 a day for those. We average 42 contract inmates a day. That's $3,150 a day coming into the county general fund. Actually, the to-date deposit rate is higher than that now because some more came in. But as of last week with these numbers, it's 441. We had another 78,000 that was in the mail on the way, and we expect to generate another 280,000 by the end of October. These are the counties that we're billing and how much they're paying, roughly. Okay, to show you how much it costs to house these guys. Now, I'm not the most scientific guy in the world and all this, but here's how we figured this out. You're contracting inmates, the county, the customer basically, they pay all the medical costs for anybody we house. So if they have to go to the hospital and we have to transport them initially, we bill that county $48 an hour for the use of the deputy to transport, which goes back into the general fund. The contracting county relieves us, all right? It's their inmate. They have to deal with it. They pay the medical costs. They pay all transport. They pay all court requirements. So-and-so's got to be at court in Jasper. It's got to be here or there. The other county does all of that. We don't do that. figured our food and shelter cost for contract inmates is $11.79 a day. All officers have to work regardless. So I didn't figure the officer cost because we have to run a facility that's geared for 144 people regardless. All right, I took the light and power bill, basically your electric bill, and I divided it up over 120 inmates, which is our standard. Across the board, daily head count is 120. So I just got the month power bill, did the 120 over a 30-day period, it's $228 a day. Water sewer did the same thing with that bill, that's $211. Food, we're mad between $16,000 to $18,000 a month, and we divide that between our total number of inmates. And divided by 3 meals, you got $238 a meal, $714 a day. 4 cleaning supplies, soap, shampoo, such, 26 cents a day. So that's how we come up with the $11.79 a day. Okay, to get your net figures on the income from the contract inmates is, we're charging 75, so I deduct the 11.79, that gives you a net of 621. That's 1921 a month, 23,000 a year. Estimated 42 per day over a year's time is 969,000.
Okay, let me stop the rest.
Yes, sir.
42 inmates a day times $75 a day per head, 365 days a year. I got $1,149,750.
Yes, sir.
You're being conservative in your estimate.
I'm using the net. Take the 17.
969,000?
Okay.
Is that a net figure? I thought.
Yes, sir.
Come up with a bigger gross is all I'm saying.
The net figure is $63.21 per day.
Okay. That's good. That's terrific. We intended to make money with this thing, and
Yes, sir.
we only budgeted $350 in projected income because the year before, the doors were closed and we budgeted $500,000, but we made nothing.
Yes, sir.
That's terrific performance. You far exceeded the expectations. Y'all doing a good job with that.
Okay, we were, our net amount is 969. Okay, so proposed solution, and like I said, I'm not Einstein here, but using what I project like our yearly gain in comp time and our desire to provide some kind of incentive pay to attract employees, things like that, we request 15% of the contract inmate income go to the sheriff's office and 15% of it go to the jail. And for each one of those departments, create a new line item that is for overtime / incentive pay. This money is purely from the contract jail. So that would give each department a way to pay overtime if they had it. And mind you, if we fill up with employees, their overtime will just about disappear. And create some type of incentive pay for like longevity, different types of certificate levels, that kind of stuff. Anything to try to attract people to work here and stay here. To continue on with this, I propose we raise the jailer pay. $3.52 an hour if you have a license, $2.52 if you don't. That gets it to $20 an hour. And I'm gonna let Mr. Marion speak about their market survey and such they did on what it takes to get somebody to walk in the door and just fill out an application. We want to raise the staff $2,000 a year. And this can be used till the end of this budget year with the unused salary money that's in the jail right now, or that $195,000 that's sitting there. I'm gonna let Mr. Marion cover the other option, if you use a staffing solution type operation and how much that costs to get qualified jailers and bring them in and hire them to fill these positions.
Hold on just a second.
Yes.
I'm tickled to death with how the jails perform. That's how we envisioned it years ago. But I do want, you're saying that this costs citizens zero tax money. Well, that's not exactly accurate, because don't forget to mention that your budget's $2,219,833. And take that $969,000 that you mentioned off of that income, that still leaves $1.2 million. I mean, it's not a plan that's gonna not cost us anything, but it is way better than it's ever been for us bringing in income.
Well, I should have said extra. It's within our
I
budget.
understand all that.
Yes.
The public's hearing all this and they're thinking, what's wrong with these guys? So I just want to put the whole picture out there. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I can give you background on how we go about and we staff, jails across the state of Texas, how we operate, two facilities on the border for Operation Lone Star, and how when we go about when we come in to try and recruit staff. We did just a base analysis of what is surrounding San Jacinto County and what the competition is for the county jail to retain staff. And that's what we found out is all the issues that come with staff shortage. You get the staff burned. You work them overtime if you can until they don't want to work overtime anymore. If you can't pay overtime, you're going to work them. You're going to pull your deputies off the street, which is going to hold a liability for safety of the community. You're going to work the officers longer hours. And what we find is that causes another liability to the county. If there is a serious incident, if there's an issue that goes on, that's going to be looked at. How did this happen? Well, this boy worked 10 days straight, worked 16 hours, 14 hours every day those times. Staff fatigue played a role in that incident, which could open the county for possible liability. Those are real issues. Those are happening every day. We see that in a lot of county jails that are in this similar situation. With San Jacinto County, you have Texas Department of Criminal Justice facility 15 minutes away from here. And they're experiencing staff shortages. They're paying incentive pay. They start at $21 an hour this year. In September, I believe they're going to go to $26 an hour for a basic entry position with comparable benefits.
Is that with the incentive?
Yes.
That is with the incentive?
Yes, sir. So you're there. Then you're not that far from Montgomery County. You're not that far from Walker County, which has numerous GECJ facilities. So you're in a spot where the pool to get folks, one, to come and move into your county, stay in your county, or bring them in from surrounding to work, is you've got a lot of competition in this community.
Do you have any idea what the median cost across the state to hire jailers is in the state of Texas?
There's a median range, and it can be anywhere between, right now, the average is about $18 an hour. There's counties that are within reach of this county that are paying $26 an hour.
$26 an hour?
That's right. And the thing to remember is, it's where you're at, it's the competition you have there, but the problem is keeping the salaries where it's at causes so many issues of the staff shortages. If you have a incident in your county jail and you're 11 officers out of 25 short, you're opening yourselves up for potential litigation, huge litigation. Opening up for if the jail inspectors come and they inspect your jail and you're not in compliance with that staffing plan, you're gonna get in front of the board in Austin. And then there's sanctions that, to include, they can shut down your county jail, where then you're not gonna have that ability to bring in that extra income. So those are some of the things that we look at as a outside individual coming in and saying, these are the things that we see. Where we come in to help is we run county jails, we run facilities, we provide staffing to those facilities. And what we do is we have a huge marketing plan where it's basically we slowly turn on a spigot on a water hose, and that flow starts coming in. We provide the applicants to the county that are eligible to become a jailer. So we do a pre-check on those folks, we provide them, and then we charge a commission for providing you a jailer. Our retention level on applicants that we send is 96% of our staff within a year, they're still employed. And we charge a commission based on after 30 days of employment with the county. So it's not they're gonna hire on and they're gonna leave. We do also, basically, we do audits, we work with the county jail where we will actually look at ways to help retention. And that's the big thing. If you can get the folks here, pays one part of that puzzle. The other is, what's the work environment? How can you improve it? There's all sorts of ways to keep people retained. You work them too hard, same thing with your deputies. If you pull them off the street, that's what they were hired for. If you make them work in a jail, you're not gonna have deputies very long. They're gonna leave. And so it's a compounding factor, like the chief was saying, that it starts with being competitive in the marketplace. And at the salary rate currently the county's paying even the incoming jailers, you gotta get them in the door. You've got a year to get them their license, their permanent license. And what happens is if that's not pushed to get them to stay, you've already wasted psychological tests, drug tests, physicals, and all the training. And the training is a cost to the county. Now, the good news is we believe we can help, especially if there is a supplemental pay raise or a raise to get that up. We believe we can really help by providing the county jail candidates to hire and get your staffing up, which is going to lower those rates. You know, we look at with the, I noticed there was an increase in overtime on the books or comp time on the books. When these employees leave, they're gone, and that's standard across the state. We see that. And the county's stuck with this employee that might have 250 hours of comp, but now you've got to reimburse it all the time. We work with counties to set up a plan where you can pay portions of it throughout the year to get that big balance down, so you're not a big bolt to the county or jolt to the county budget.
You never get enough regular employees, theoretically, nobody can have a bunch of comp.
Exactly, and that's the big thing about it. Overtime, on our two facilities we run, the first 6 weeks of operations, building up and getting our staff, we had 450 hours of overtime every 3 days. Within 6 weeks, we're down to 0, and we've been that way for almost 2 years now. And that's with 250 jailers on staff. So there's ways and techniques you can do that, and we can maintain that 96% retention. And that's what I would encourage, and we encourage all of them. That's what you want in your community. You want folks to come here, be paid enough that they can stay and build your community. And we think we've got a very good way of working hand in hand with sheriff's offices to make that happen. The good news is Senate Bill 22. Senate Bill 22 is starting in January. It is going to put you at the rate he's telling you at $20 an hour through the budget. This county's population is 30. You're going to get $350,000 if you apply for the grant. For the contract, $350,000 specifically for minimum salary for a jailer is gonna be $40,000, which is gonna put you right at that $20 an hour. That is gonna be in the state budget, and that's for the biennium. Indications are they have every intention to keep that in a base budget item, which means it's gonna be perpetual.
If it passes.
It has passed. Yes, sir, it has passed.
It is.
Yes, it has passed. And so you're gonna see some salary requirements that they're gonna require if you apply for that grant. They haven't made the rules yet, we're looking into it, we have grant writers. I don't know if this county has a grant writer or not. We do have grant writers that we use, and we're waiting for the rules to come out from the comptroller's office to help the counties that we help or can offer that help. But that's gonna be a huge impact because that's coming from the state budget, that's not gonna come from your county budget. And that's gonna get those salary rates exactly where they are, and that money's supposed to be available starting in January of 24.
That's when you can apply for it, and when you can available.
Right, it's gonna be a little bit of time.
It's continuing.
What we're being told, it is supposed to be perpetual in a base budget. How long that will be, you know, if another administration comes in, you know, it changes the winds and all that.
You know, they do this, and then wages go up, and then they don't do it again, and
That's what they.
Unfunded mandate. And what we're being told is this is not going to be an unfunded mandate.
that's probably everybody's unfunded mandate. That's the terminology. Because we know the jail, we know they didn't get it, we see it, we hear it. We know, everybody here knows that they can't get jailers. We try to get money, get them up there, they still don't come. You know, we know they need help, we understand that. If there's anything we can do, I mean,
What we offer is we offer
to answer your question,
that provided staff.
it's two bills, 10, 20, and 800. Those are two. I know it's two, I know it's one or two 10.
So we come here, we come today hoping you would give us some figures.
Yes, basically what we can do is we can provide, eligible applicants for your county jail, and then it's up for the county jail to L1 them, get them their temporary license, and within 30 days of them getting their temporary license, our company would receive a commission for providing that jail. And our commission is at $5,000 per employee, with a 30-day guarantee.
30-day guarantee that they work for only 30 days, that's all you guarantee?
That's what we're not going to get paid unless they work at least 30 days. So after 30 days, we want to move on to pay our commission.
But do you guarantee what the rate of the state?
30 days.
What we can tell you is that, our current employees' rate is 96% rate, and they're still employed over here.
Last time you were here, the number, you were gonna charge us $40 an hour, and they're gonna get paid $20 an hour. I mean, no offense, but why would we do that? Why wouldn't we just give them a $3 raise and pay them $20 like you're gonna pay?
No, and that was an option if we were providing full trained L1.
That's what I thought we were coming here today about.
Well, he's giving us all our options, I'm guessing, I appreciate that.
So that is, the pay is 40, we pay you $42 when you hire somebody.
That is an option. What we're suggesting, based on what the recommendations and what the chief has presented, this is no cost. The only cost is going to be if the employee is hired, that we present you an applicant, the sheriff's department hires them, and if they stay employed for over 30 days, we receive a commission for being able to get the pipeline going to get you staffed.
What if they only stay 15 days?
We do not get paid. So there's no cost to you, they're not gonna stay there or less than 30 days.
They stay 30 days though, they get 5,000, then the guy that's working for 30 days gets 2,500 or whatever that number is. That's what it sounds like.
Or we pay y'all 5,000 plus, 3,500.
No, No, the sheriff department will hire them. There's not an incentive in that. We're gonna bring the employees in, provide them, at that pay, we believe we can provide a steady stream of employees that will statewide through all of our resources we have to bring them in, which is just not putting applicants on, or applications on Indeed or Monster.com. We have a connection of networks throughout the state and the country where we can bring people in.
We're using Monster and all those different worksite deals, are y'all trying all that? I mean,
Yes, sir.
you're not just putting something in the same set of towns and
No,
wondering why ain't nobody
we're
showing.
on everything.
The big thing is the competitive salary is just, unfortunately, it's just not there because of all the competition that you have surrounding your county. It's just grown. The state has really jumped up their pay scale, and you've got a lot of state facilities within driving distance of this community, and that's the big factor.
So my question is, and this is no novelty, what makes you think that, I don't know what area you're from, or what area you're from, what makes you think you can put it out there on the real market and get someone from Humboldt to drive to Cold Springs for $20 an hour, when they can stay in Humboldt and make 30 if they're qualified? I mean, I know the applications because of the surrounding counties that we have and what they pay, but what makes you think that you can do a better job than the sheriff's department can on getting qualified applicants?
Through our experience, we've been doing this for 22 years, and what we do is we use all sorts of resources, job fairs, community meetings, military bases. I mean, at least 25% of our staff is recruited from military, which means they're already used to moving around. Our goal is when we try and get them hired on, we try to get them to be a part of the community that they're going to work in. And so it's a combination of going out there nationwide, statewide, and getting folks, one, that we vet before they even make the move to come talk to us. They're already vetted, okay, you're willing to move, you're willing to relocate. This is where it's gonna be. So we break down those, we have a lot of outreaching, one-on-one informational exchanges with that potential applicant to bring them in, and we found that to be very successful with that initial hard press to get someone that's gonna come versus just putting something out there, well, no, I took a few pictures on the internet, I don't wanna live there, I don't wanna live here. We actually make sure that we talk to each and every one of those applicants personally, and that personal connection is more than what you really think it is. And that's where we keep that hiring rate going. And it's basically a slow process. It's like turning on a spigot. You gotta get that flow going and slowly increase it until you get that flow out. And that's how you bring them in continuously. And it actually works like that, where we might hire one from Humboldt to get them to come here. Well, then guess what? They might have some family in Humboldt or some friends in Humboldt. Hey, look, it's not a bad place to live. It's not a bad gig, not a bad job. And we will bring more people through those connections. We do incentives on some employees like that, where you bring somebody, we give you $100. It's those type of things, incentive things, that we try to do to create a faster flow or a steady flow.
So he does the same stuff that, I don't know if y'all familiar with Earl Brown. You know, Earl sets up, he works at TDCJ.
Yes.
And he goes, I don't know if you know Earl or not. You know, Earl goes around to Cleveland and TDCJ pays him a commission. That's what he does. Because everything's this career. I agree. How many other counties of this size?
A whole bunch, and it comes back to the first picture and the first slide he showed you this is not Burger King, this is not Dairy Queen, this is not, and some of those by the way pay $16 an hour. It's not a career that, you might get that applicant in, they're just not cut out to be in law enforcement, they're just not. And unfortunately, this is a life that situation. I've been doing this business for 35 years, and I've been bitten, I've been stabbed, I've had feces thrown in my face. I've had bones broken, working in a jail, working in a state prison, working in federal prison. It's a dangerous field. These guys are not locked up because they're singing too loud at church choir. There's some really dangerous people, and it takes a lot on staff. Very much stressful environment, very high divorce rate, high illness rate, high burnout rate, and that's just working in the industry. And that's the thing that you face as commissioners is you need to understand there's a lot of stress in their jail environment, regardless if everything goes good for the day, because the next minute, the next hour, something will go really bad. And then if you're short staffed, your staff is burned out, you could be potentially liable, not only to someone getting hurt employee-wise, but what happened to the community. And those are things that we're trying to focus on.
So real quick, correct me if I heard you wrong, but y'all say y'all operate other jails in other counties?
Yes, sir.
Two-part question. What percentage of that do y'all make, and two,
We operate in Valverde County, and Jim Hall County, which is in Del Rio and Caponville, and we work in conjunction with the current sheriff's office. So we provide jailers for those county jails to assist, basically what we described here, assist those counties in operating those jails, and then we run two separate facilities in those same counties that is strictly under Operation Lone Star, which is where we detain temporarily for all illegal aliens that are arrested under Operation Lone Star.
but your company runs the entire thing?
We run those two facilities, yes, sir. So everything from booking, staffing, operating, we run the entire thing, including the command structure.
So is that for the state?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the name of the facility there?
It is basically named after the county. It's the Valverde Temporary Processing Center in Del Rio and the Jim Hall Temporary Processing Center in Carolina. And those are the two facilities. And those are 100-bed facilities each. And they house, basically what we do is when DPS or state law enforcement arrests an illegal alien that's criminally trespassing or human smuggling, or if it's any kind of crime that can be in the nexus of what they call Operation Lone Star, which is burglary of building, burglary of vehicle, arson, something of that nature, which we've had. We will get them there, process them in, just like you would book them in any county jail, and then we put them in holding cells, and then eventually they're transported to a TDCJ facility that's in Dilley, Texas, or Segovia facility.
So do you have a cost on what that costs to run those two state facilities? You got 100 inmates, so you take the total cost, you got 100. The total cost.
Our total cost.
Is that rent too? Y'all own the building?
Actually, no, the county does. The county provides that. So all we do is we manage and operate those facilities for them. So I really couldn't give you a cost other than what we have on our end, what we charge state tax on Operation Lone Star. It's honestly it's really, I can't really tell you, it wouldn't be in comparison to what your county budget is, because we provide funding for legal services and court magistrations and all of that. So there's a breakdown of how that works there. I can tell you that we pay our officers $31 an hour. But we're bringing most of those, or 25% of the military, and 25% are from the communities. And we're slowly building that up, and then the rest are from across the state and country, really. a state funded from Operation Lone Star. A little bit different than the county.
Yeah, we were still on the figure.
Yeah.
Or the highest cost possible to be.
We employ 250 jailers at $31 an hour.
That's all you do.
Sir?
That's all you furnish.
And our supervisory staff, of course. You know, we run an entire, they have a jail administrator down.
Okay.
We run all that.
What will it cost us to run this when y'all take it over? I know you put a figure to it, because you've been talking to them. What would it cost us a year to run this jail with the inmates that we have?
If we did it, it would be.
Now, so we did it, 100% y'all.
100%. I would hate to give you a number without really breaking down all of that cost.
Come on, you've been over here 2 or 3 times, surely.
Yes, sir.
Surely you have some kind of idea of what it would cost.
I could get you that, but I'd have to sit down and really look at all of the costs that it would be.
Well, earlier he talked about the cost of house inmates, but he just included the lights, water, food, supplies. The key thing in this that we didn't include was the labor. That's our biggest cost.
The what?
Labor.
Yeah.
You ain't paying no guards at $11.79 a day per guy. That's just paying, like he said, lights, water, food.
If you did that, you know, $11.79 a day, you could house 144, 365 days, but only cost below $600,000.
That figure is for contract inmates only. It's totally different with our inmates. Contract inmates, regardless of whether we have contract inmates or not, we still have officers. The officers are still
Yeah,
there.
but that creates a false impression. You gotta look at the whole cost. We gotta fund the whole jail here. It's not just,
Okay, if we do away with the contract, you still have 25 officers.
we didn't build a thing to do away with the contract though. And I don't like having it dangled in front of us like it's been done. But right now, I don't know how you've done it, but according to these numbers, we're 66% through the year, and you've only used 46% of your budget. We're $443,000 under budget right this second, if I follow your math right. I don't know why we couldn't, just for this year, give them a raise out of that 443.
I think essentially what we've been doing by paying the overtime since January, from time to time, we're taking that money that's not used, and paying the overtime, I think that's what the surplus is.
Yeah, if we wasn't paying overtime, we'd get a lot more bang for our buck. If we rounded up to $20, if we got all these people come in and work regular, we could do away with it.
But we can cut our patrolmen out and have them work in jail where they can be on the streets too.
I mean, it wouldn't cost us anything because the money's in the budget. I don't know how you saved it, maybe the budget's. We're grateful.
1140 up there.
Yeah, but somebody's working the shifts and they're getting paid overtime for them. That's the catch. But as far as stopping the bleeding, we can take that money that you saved, let's just say you saved, I say give it.
Work with the all somewhere.
That's what it takes. You know, we gotta get competitive because we got the TDC, and everything around us is TDC, private prison in Livingston, Cleveland, they're all around us, we're in a box.
Yes, sir.
If we approve doing that, and then at least now at the end of the budget year, we know whether that's really the problem or not. You advertise, hey, we're hiring for $20 an hour.
At least we're trying.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do about the other? Once you get home, it's gonna continue that. So, You need to stop and think where you're really going and what you can give and sustain next year.
I'm thinking about to the end of the year right now.
But,
Just because you give the inmates a raise don't mean you gotta give everybody else. I mean, the inmates, the guards.
but I'm saying that's gonna perpetuate that. And what
They're the ones getting bid on and chewed on and eyes gouged and poked and kicked in the, you know what, and I get it. But who wants to do that for less than $20 an hour? You can flip burgers for 15, or get Subway for 15.
I'm not opposed to it, but I'm just saying, that's not the only situation you're gonna have. That situation's gonna create more.
I've got a little more here, sir, maybe I
Go right ahead, go right ahead.
can answer some of that. Okay, we fogged that one pretty good. Well, we don't pay overtime, we have comp time, and the game, and you guys know the game, stock up as much as you can, you get 400 or 500 hours, whatever, all right, now I'm gonna quit, go work over here where they pay, and they give me a nice big severance check. We're paying,
If we're paying 20 and we can attract more workers, then y'all.
that'll go down.
Y'all can manage that.
The more staff you get, the quicker the overtime goes down.
Yeah.
But right now, we're paying them to leave instead of stay.
Well, I want kind of a misconception to give, we're not paying overtime. We have consistently paid overtime since the first of the year. $56,000, y'all coming in here, we've been paying y'all overtime
How much we've already paid out, Carolyn, this is that, but this is how much it's still.
So yes, we're paying overtime.
What we
We're
have
not
here
paying overtime right now. You guys cut that off.
Oh, we put it back, but didn't we say that at the last meeting?
I'm trying to come up with a solution to cover this. I've got the entire, the payoff for the comp time for the sheriff's office and the jail. It's $284,000. Let's use $95,000 of the unpaid salary, leftover deputy money that we didn't fill, and a portion of the last 3 months of this jail contract inmate income, and wipe that out. Pay it off by the end of this fiscal year. Let's pay it totally out. And then if you remember the earlier slide with a line item for overtime for the jail and the sheriff's office, using just a small portion of the inmate, contract inmate income.
Chief, your budget's 2.2 million, and you're bringing in 900, you're getting 900, you're getting all of the inmate money, but we're trying to pigeonhole it. That'd be like Ms. Davis, the tax collector coming in, well, I collected 7.2 million in tax money, let's spend it all on my people. We're all in one big old boat together.
Yes, sir, that's not, I think you're misunderstanding. The inmate, contract inmate income, off the top of that, 15% goes to the jail and 15% to the SO.
You're already getting 100% of that figure. You're getting it all. You're getting 2.2 million already. So there's no extra 15%, but I say take what we got here, what you say is you're under budget right now, but
Yes.
these numbers are right, and looking at the auditor's report, and give them a raise. I mean, put it in there, because that's what it takes to hire them, that's what you're basically, you and the fellow's telling us is, you can't hire nobody for less than $20 an hour, right? So let's do that. We've been riding this horse for a year.
And would we have to declare that, we do that for a long time,
That's what we did last year. Well, that's consult.
Well, we're under the immigration disaster.
There's some things that classify as disaster, some things that don't.
That's what we closed it in last year when we did the mid-year raise. I don't know what else to do to, it'd be no different for any of us to pay this guy $40 an hour. I mean, you know, it's these budget amendments, and you're right.
Well, if it continues, we're looking at another, maybe 3 jailers quitting by the end of the month. At the rate we're going, by November, there'll be 3 or 4 jailers left. So that would require all deputies working the jail, and there wouldn't be anything left. So that's where I'm looking at it. I love my people. We buried a couple here. Not doing something's not gonna work. I don't have all the answers, I'm just trying to give you something to mull over. If we could wipe out that comp time, that would reduce your liability you have going into the next budget year. We have the money within the budget right now to wipe that out, and if we could just pay as we went, we would never have that buildup again. That's all, it'd be good for everybody. And if you took part of that jail contract inmate income, Judge, if you took the 70% of it.
What money we take, it's you've already getting all of it, because you're getting them twice.
It goes in the general fund. It goes in the general fund.
The general fund's putting 2.2 in your budget, so how do you say you're not getting all of it? I'm with you about giving them more pay, I'm on board, I agree, you can't hire somebody for $14 an hour.
And I
think we all agree with that.
everybody agrees with that. I'm just gonna make a comment that we're doing nothing. Last year, we was up here, we gave you raise, we gave you increases, we gave overtime, we've done almost everything you've asked for, and we stand here and say we haven't done anything.
I didn't say you haven't done anything, sir. I'm trying to work with you guys.
I agree we got a problem with comp. I just thought the most critical issue is to get more guys in here.
Yes.
I mean,
That is.
anytime if we get more guys in here, eventually the way comp time's supposed to work is you know, hey, you gotta take off a little bit, do it that way.
Yes, sir. You wanna focus on that? Let's focus on that. I'm good. Anything
What
else?
I'm getting out of the whole conversation is we need to do something to attract more employees.
And all we do is pay increase.
I'm good with anything that'll help.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. It makes no sense to pay an outsider $40 an hour and only getting our employees $20. We can do that.
Well, yeah, but I agree though, that we explore the option, I'm glad y'all found it.
Well, let's get something better. But I thought, and this is my opinion, I thought he was here to take the jail over and give us well, that's what I thought he was here.
He wouldn't give me a direct, they have a company secrets, whatever, but we're looking, what he told me was around $300,000 a month.
A month?
Yeah.
That's 3.6 million, your budget's 2.2 million, we can
Total
go.
count, everybody, $196,000,
That's not jail.
No, that's 196 is all.
I'm sorry, I thought.
Now, I'm just saying, he said that offhand, just what you wanted him to say, but he wasn't gonna say it here on the record.
If you're presenting something, and that's what you were presenting, you should have a number, what it would cost to do it.
But I didn't tell him to compare numbers for taking over the whole jail, because when he gave me that hint, I was like, oh, that'll never fly, that's the way I was.
And that's something that we probably ought to look into, but
That's what I thought he was here
if
for.
we're gonna do that, we couldn't just take this proposal, $3.6 million range, we'd have to send out a request for proposals, go out and bid, so.
That's what I thought he was doing, he was presenting, something to take off the staff and whole thing.
It's a lot.
Well, I don't doubt it, I'm not saying it's not.
Liberty County did it, and it was wiping them out, they were reverted back to the county.
They did,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Anyways.
You got more, go ahead.
Well, it's the stuff, you don't really wanna go over the comp time, and that's about that's what the rest of it is, so. We can just skip that part, Judge, if you want. I mean,
We gotta do something.
I mean, it's
He's
just,
done good on comp time, because remember, about 4 years ago, we started this discussion, y'all over $1 million just in comp time.
And now y'all down to that,
Now y'all down to what, 196,000?
less than 200,000.
This is not,
No, 196 is the whole county.
That's doing good.
We're just,
So, I mean, we've been talking about this for 40 years now.
Very first, appreciate it.
Yeah, very good.
that's something to think about,
jails.
Don't leave.
That's,
I'm not,
Just the jail,
that's
56,000.
comp vacation and everything on there.
330? That's what we paid out, yeah.
Yeah, that's what, no, this is what we have left. In
That's
the,
what I do. Okay.
what we paid already is something you'll have to get from Carolina.
And that's good. That's really good, coming from where you came from, over $1 million 4 years ago.
we'll work with you guys, whatever we gotta do to make this work, that's all I'm asking. Whatever ideas you got, I'm open, trust me.
What takes his money? That's it.
No, we have to solve it somehow.
Okay.
We had like 11 murders this year, and we are upside down in crime.
That's another thing we got to consider.
Any other questions, gentlemen, or?
Is there something you want to vote on?
Yeah.
Well, let's see, we have to look in, no, it's not set up for voting, it's a workshop kind of a thing, but, I think we've got some direction here, it seems like, only way I can see to help your staffing problem is pay them what it takes to get them to walk in the door. I wouldn't want some hand climbing on top of me and biting my neck off like that, not $15 an hour. Oh my gosh.
I think it'll make Commissioner Court, if they present it, or if we can vote on it, what the jail comp time is, have that number ready. And if your number available is, I think that's something that can't be done.
Okay, we'll do an agenda request.
Yeah, that's what.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commissioner, do you just want jail or do you want jail and sheriff?
I think just put it in half, put 2 different things, jail on one sheet, sheriff on the other, and put it all over.
I'm thinking about some sort of action item to implement some type of rate, we'll have to get Mr. Dillon to see if we can do that. I know we did it one time, and it was closed in a emergency status, and it's basically the same situation. We gave a $3 raise, and we thought it was gonna fix our hope. Let's just say we hope it would fix something, and I think it helped, but we're not there yet.
Yes.
And if that's worse, they're getting paid.
Agenda item.
Okay, we'll make sure it happens. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You need this one?
Too short. Need it on a pole.
stop the bill.
Yeah, I know. Doing something with that. What is an attendance, they make $38,000. $20 an hour, that fine will be $41,600. Maybe what we have to do. I know it says budget workshop here. When it got put on here, I thought that was mainly what we were gonna deal with, was that issue right there. What y'all think? Me too, I just didn't. Damn, we got it. Miss Elliott, come on up.
Another bearer of bad news.
Like I say, it says budget workshop, that's not exactly, it wasn't mainly to focus on that one department. Don't have any new numbers, ain't got the prejudice. Right, the proverbial horse.
You're gonna do that? I think so. What do we have to lose, you know? What do we have to lose? Nothing.
Is there some emergency, or is this your same old budget?
This is my same budget, however, you'll notice, flip to the very back page of, where it says 23-24 budget proposal elections. Flip to the very back page and you'll see my sad news on the bottom. So my original requested budget increase was $3,478.26. The amount is detailed in each section for each line that it entails. However,
What has changed? We had no problems with that.
Correct, yes, sir. So if you'll, on the back side, you'll see where the line number is 0435. HB 1217, new legislation was just passed, which mandates now all counties, all Texas counties, to have their last week of early voting be 12 to 12. I feel like that we have always been proactive in setting our hours for our voters, considering our stats and that kind of stuff, and it is not just myself, obviously.
And then that we stay open more hours,
Yes, sir.
that's gonna cost us
So I've tried to make an estimate here, Judge, showing.
$17,000 more dollars.
Correct. I'm sorry for that, because I try to be very
Last time I
conservative.
checked, you wasn't a member of the legislature,
I'm not.
you didn't vote on that.
No, sir, and I have emails showing where I emailed the governor, I emailed our representative, asking them to please vote against this, to consider the small counties and what a burden this is gonna put on them, not just financially, but I have to think about my workers. An average election worker is 65 to 72 years of age. I'm now gonna ask them to work early voting, that last week, plus Saturday and Sunday are now mandated. So, yeah.
This is all covered here, County primarily.
Well, they're trying to rectify and fix problems that is affecting all of us. So I just know that you guys have a deadline, and you have a date that you have to finalize this, and I didn't want you not to know of this change. I don't know the fullness that this is gonna bring to
Is
us.
the auditor copy of this?
Yes, well, I'm sorry, yes, sir, I did.
You put that in there, because if it's mandated, it's mandated, and I don't know,
But I know that you have to have that budget, you have to finalize it, and I didn't want you to pass that date without this information.
Yes, ma'am.
So I feel so
we got
bad.
plenty, we're waiting for the finalizing, but it's
Yes, sir.
very helpful to have this, so it won't be a uh-oh.
Right, it's September 1, they're talking September 1, this goes into effect, so this will be the constitutional. So the great thing is, it only makes us do those last 2 days, the 12 to 12, 7 to 7, the 12-hour day, but we'll consider that now when we bring forth.
It goes into effect, but there's no election in September, so.
Correct, but we know
We're not gonna-
yes, sir.
We'll put it into next year's budget, we don't have to correct this year's budget to
We do not, no, sir.
So 17,000 basically judges and clerks is what you're asking.
Correct. Correct, that's what we had already had. So that takes that budget line from 27,000 to 44.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Pay the bills and everything else? It's, all right, it's, 11:22, one of the commissioners has an item for executive session, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 951, 771, 72, 0725, 074, 076. Are we talking about personnel or?
Safety more on personnel.
I want to give an update on the sale of this land situation. I need to